Hey everyone, I'm Luna. Welcome to my channel, and in today's episode of Crystal Magic, we are going to talk about crystal elixirs, what they're good for, and how to make them. A crystal elixir, also called gem essence, is simply water charged with the energy of a crystal. It's a great way to improve the quality of your drinking water and infuse it with your intention. You could also add your crystal elixir to tea or juice, to your bath or skincare products, make aura sprays and room sprays to quickly freshen up your space. And if you're a magical practitioner, you can incorporate it into your craft, add a dash to your potion, blessing water, or a magical floor wash. Anoint your ritual tools or deities. The possibilities are endless. To begin with, choose a crystal based on your intention. Say if you want a cleansing, detox elixir, go for smoky quartz, shungite, obsidian. But if you want more of a pick-me-up vitality boost, go for red jasper, carnelian, citrine, so you can mix and match different stones. The next step is to make sure that your crystal is clean physically and cleansed energetically, because crystals do tend to absorb and build up energy over time. So you could either hold your crystal under the running water and visualize it being cleansed, or you could smoke cleanse it with sage, rosemary, palo santo, although it does make your water taste a bit smoky. Alternatively, you can sound cleanse it with singing bowls, bells. You could even cleanse it with Reiki if you're a practitioner. Once your crystal is cleansed, you may want to charge it with your intention. It's not really necessary because crystals do have their own energy, but one crystal can be used for many different purposes. So if you have a specific intention, it's better to focus your crystal on that. So you could simply hold your crystal in your hands, focus on what you want it to do, visualize it, and direct your energy through the palms of your hands and into the crystal. Or you could simply ask the spirit of the crystal to assist you with your intention. Then you're going to need a glass jar or a bottle. I do not recommend using plastic because it leaches BPA and it affects the taste, especially if you leave it for a long time or in the sun. Also, plastic doesn't hold energy as well as glass, in my opinion. Make sure your glass is clean and cleansed, same as your crystal. As for the water, distilled is best if you intend to keep your crystal elixir for a long time, as it's the purest form of water with all the mineral and organic matter removed out of it. Otherwise, spring water is great, but if you only have filtered tap water, that's fine. In any case, make sure you boil it first to kill all the bacteria and let it cool down before you use it. So there are two methods how to make your elixir, direct and indirect. The direct method is when you put your crystal into your glass container and fill it up with water, if it's safe to do so, and just leave it for a few hours. I typically leave mine for the whole day or overnight, but not all crystals are suitable for this method. First of all, you need a crystal that is smooth and polished or tumbled, not rough stones, not clusters like this, or not any brittle stones, because those tiny little shards can chip off, get into the water, and you don't want that in your body. Please make sure that your crystal is water safe. A lot of crystals contain copper, aluminium, sulfur, and other toxic substances that can leach into the water and make you sick. Some common crystals that can be toxic include malachite, labradorite, moonstone, pyrite, lapis lazuli, aventurine, turquoise, sandstone, ruby, and others. You can just Google the full list of toxic crystals. In general, crystals that belong to quartz family, such as clear quartz, amethyst, citrine, smoky quartz, carnelian, are usually safe to use. Also, some crystals can be damaged by water. I ruined my first selenite because I didn't know it would start to dissolve if I left it in the water. It was so sad. So if you're not sure if your crystal is hard enough to go in the water, you can check the Moss hardness scale, which is a 1 to 10 scale showing how resistant to damage some minerals are. If your crystal is a 5 or below, it's more likely to be damaged by water. Some common crystals that are too soft are selenite, lepidolite, gypsum, azurite, fluorite, celestite. So as you can see, there's a lot of "ite" at the end. And it's not just about softness. Your crystals can also crack or rust in the water. So always research your crystal, and if you're not 100% sure it's water safe, just use the indirect method. For that, you will need 2 glass containers, and one of them smaller than the other, so it can easily fit inside it, with plenty of room to be filled with water. And then place your crystal into the smaller container and just fill out your bowl like so, and make sure it doesn't get into the smaller jar. The idea is that the crystal doesn't touch the water, but the energy is still transferred through the glass. So it's a really safe method that allows you to work with any crystal without any concerns. The only thing with the indirect method is I would allow more time for the energy of the crystal to permeate into the water. I usually leave my crystal elixirs to soak for 12 to 24 hours anyway, so it's not really a problem. There are a few extra things you can do to give your crystal elixir a little oomph. For example, if you're making an amethyst elixir, you can put it out at night to soak in the moonlight, as it will contribute to that psychic energy, intuition, or cleansing. But if you're using crystals like carnelian, tiger's eye, citrine, your crystal elixir would benefit more from the sunlight with its fiery, creative, abundant energy. Or you could put your elixir next to a candle, or put a candle on top of it if it has a flat lid, to add that fire energy. Just beware of fire hazards, obviously. You could also imbue your elixir with symbols, sigils, words, and affirmations that align with your intention. And you could either write them on the glass, or just on a piece of paper and put it under your jar. Sacred geometry figures are also a great way to harmonize and add more potency to your elixir. You could simply print out something like the flower of life and put it under your jar as well. If you want to fine-tune it even further, you could make your elixir in a particular phase of the moon. For example, make cleansing detox elixir on a waning or dark moon, and abundance, vitality, creativity elixirs on a waxing or full moon. You could also choose a time when the moon is in a particular astrological sign. Say if you want to enhance your psychic abilities, you could make your elixir when the moon is in Pisces and then charge it in the moonlight. When your elixir is ready, you can transfer it into a different container if necessary and keep it in the fridge for up to a week. If you intend to keep your elixir for a long time, you would want to use a sterilized jar ideally, and preserve it with 2/3 strong alcohol like vodka or brandy. Alternatively, you could use apple cider vinegar. Although if you have some digestive issues or stomach ulcers, that's not recommended. If you intend to use your elixir on the skin, I would advise against using preservatives because it can cause irritation. So just make smaller batches. You could even freeze your elixir in an ice cube tray and then transfer the cubes into a separate bag and keep them in the freezer. In this way, you can just take a few cubes as and when you need them. Mind you though, you can only thaw your elixir once. So don't thaw it and then put it back in the freezer. It will mess it up. In any case, I highly recommend labeling your elixir bottle with the date created, type of crystal, and any extra energies that you've added. Otherwise, if you make a few different elixirs over time, it's easy to forget which one is which and when you made it. So I hope this video was helpful. Please give it a like if you enjoyed it, and if you have any questions, feel free to ask them in the comments down below. And until next time, blessed be.